Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Once again, it is your man, Big Brother Tucker. And if you are not following us on all social media platforms, then you are missing out, especially when it comes to Gab, Getter, and Minds, and even Twitter. Now, on Twitter is where I tend to get the most backlash, if you want to call it that. I just call it emotional outbursts. Once again, I made what would seem to be, to me, a very, very innocuous tweet. It really was. It was a very, blah tweet. Here's what it says. It said, "I find it rather interesting that the Alphabet Mafia," that's what I call the LGBTQ plus HGTV people, "I find it rather interesting that the Alphabet Mafia are constantly asking those that say educate, help," and I put those in quotation marks, "to not tell others like their parents and the general public, and that they call their locations safe spaces." I said it sounds kind of pedophile to me. That's all I did, y'all. I simply said that I find it interesting that the Alphabet Mafia, has this whole don't tell others in our locations where we meet up as a safe space. Now, maybe it's me, but don't y'all think that sounds kind of pedophile? But that was a tweet, okay? Then I had a response from a Paul Genuel, extreme leftist, and he responded with 2 words: despicable lie. Now, I'm always one for open conversation and a reasonable back and forth. So I asked the brother, elaborate please. He said, and I quote, "It's slanderous and an intentional lie to call this pedophilia. It is a lie that they constantly say no to tell others. It's destructive to the kids and teachers in the service of anti-LGBTQ bigotry." Now, before I tell you what my response was to that, let's just break down what this ass clown said. It's slanderous and intentional lie to call this pedophilia. Whatever. It is a lie that they constantly say no to telling others. Again, we'll get to it. But I want to talk about this part. It's destructive to the kids and teachers in the service of anti-LGBTQ. Does he not hear what his dumbass said? Why are teachers teaching anything relating to LGBTQ? Why the hell does sexual identity matter to prepubescent children and unstably hormonal teenagers? They don't even know what the fuck they want to do and or be in life. So why, oh why, are we trying to quote unquote help them? It's destructive to kids and teachers in service. All I want my kids to learn are what they're going to need to get by in the real world. Teach them some history. Teach them proper English. How to hold conversations. How to write convincing letters. Teach them things they're going to need in the world. Teach them how to balance a checkbook. Teach them the importance of a credit score. That's what I want to see taught. Why in the hell does it matter about the LGBTQ? And they're teaching anti-LGBTQ, what he says. Anti? Really, brother? So, in response to that, here is what y'all man Big Brother Tucker said. The first thing I did, I shared a link. And the link is to a news article where teacher tells students not to tell their parents about the equity survey. In this equity survey, they get children to, what's the best way to say this? Oh, I can just say it. They teach children about LGBTQ things because according to the child that spoke up about it, it was an equity survey that the children had a hard time understanding. The student said, she reported when they had a meeting about this in front of the school board, the student said, "My teacher said that I could not skip any questions even when I didn't understand them. One question asked us what gender we identify with. I was very confused along with a lot of other classmates. And in case you're wondering, well, how old is this child? 4th grade. I repeat, 4th grade. And remember, teachers tell students not to tell the parents about this survey. All right? I sent him that link. That was followed up by a second link I decided to share with the young man, where a teacher whistleblower says they won't let us tell the parents. Whistleblower teacher on Great Valley School's transgender policy. It reads like this. If you are the parent of a child questioning their gender identity in the Great Valley School District, which is in Delaware, the teacher is not allowed to tell you. In fact, under district policy, the teacher is required to keep that information secret from parents. Your child is feeling confused about whatever, and the teacher is now the parent because their job is to keep that information from you. Now remember, our buddy Paul on Twitter said it's a lot if they constantly say no to not tell others. I just gave you 2. Well, let's do a third. I was feeling magnanimous today. The third, courts to determine if schools can hide information from parents about their kids. It became a legal issue. And what I don't get is, no, let me take that lie back. Let me stop before I tell that lie, actually. I do get it. I get the fact that this individual and others like him, Paul I'm referring to, live in an echo chamber. They live in a world where that's acceptable, where that's cool to them. Now, with the court headline I just read, courts to determine if schools can hide information from parents about their kids. In Pennsylvania recently, 3 parents filed a federal lawsuit alleging that their children's 1st grade teacher, 1st fucking grade, violated their rights, not to mention school policy and state law, by teaching their children about gender dysphoria and transgender transitioning. Dude, they're 1st grade, they're 6 years old. 6 years old. Why the fuck does it matter? Why are you trying to push this sexual crap on kids? And this ass clown Paul doesn't understand why it sounds pedophile? Really? Now that's 2, y'all. That's 2. And just to try to point home, I gave him a final one. I sent out another tweet and said, and told him that the previous 3 were just examples. That hell, they're even doing it in the Air Force Academy. And if you have not heard that before, yes, they are doing that in the Air Force Academy. At the Air Force Academy, a diversity and inclusion training by the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado instructs cadets to use words that include all genders and to refrain from saying things like mom and dad. Let me tell y'all something right now. If my child, any of my children, call me anything but dad, padre, father, pops, they are subject to get knocked into next week. But I digress. Let me go on to make the point of they are telling you not to tell. At the beginning of the class, at the beginning of the training, cadets are assured that what's said here stays in here. What's said here stays in the room. Let's have each other's backs. And cadets were instructed to not share people's stories with their names and identifiers. Now, if it's supposed to be such a great thing, this diversity and inclusion training, why are they don't share people's stories with their names / identifiers? Because even they know it's bullshit. So going back to Mr. Paul, after I shared those 4 examples of why I call it pedophilia and proof that even the government in training tells people to let's keep it secret. And before anybody says, there might be some that are like, well, Tucker, it's the military. I can easily tell you 80% of my family and friends have served. They've easily told me about their training camp experiences, their boot camp experiences. It's not a major secret. Now, they may not tell me about specific deployments or missions, but training is training. They easily tell me what they did in training. Hell, they've even showed me some techniques. So let's calm down on that part. So as I responded to him, like I said, after my 3 school examples and then the one from the Air Force, I told him, so now that it has been established that my statements is based in fact, that automatically, by definition, removes your claim of slander. And now that I think about it, by calling my statements a lie and slanderous without checking if they were so, actually makes you a slanderer. Then I followed that up by, and I called it pedophilia because that's what pedophiles do. They want to have their way with you and don't want you to tell anyone what they're doing or where y'all did it. So that explains the pedophile vibes. Now he was all gung-ho, as y'all could tell. I wrote, he wrote, I wrote, he wrote. After I gave him those 4 examples in those last 2 tweets, I will give him half-ass points because at least he didn't block me, but he ain't said shit else. You see, they all have that, I feel it should be this way. Y'all know your boy Big Brother Tucker by now. Fuck how you feel. Fuck your feelings. Feelings is the reason that this nation and society is in a shithole right now. Oh, I feel that we shouldn't. Damn that. What's right, what's wrong, what's left, what's right, what's up, what's down. See, he lives in an echo chamber. That echo chamber of, well, they don't constantly, yeah. And those examples I gave y'all were just examples that I pulled up on Google searches right quick by literally Google searching the phrase, teachers hide from parents, and all that came up. Because if you watch, I won't say watch, if you pay attention to the news, not the mainstream media, because the mainstream media doesn't cover this. They are part of the problem. But just search things like that. Search things like secret transgender agenda, and you're going to find stories like that, and some that will blow your mind. But I wanted to share that with y'all, man. Just really let y'all know that if y'all not following me on all the social media sites, on Getter, Gab, Minds, and Twitter, man, I be dropping some knowledge nuggets, y'all. And every now and then, every blue moon, I will have an ass clown to try to test my nuts. And they will always fail the test.
Man, we gonna stop it right there. You can catch the rest of that conversation on our Free Mind Thinkers podcast, which you can listen to wherever you listen to any of your favorite podcasts. We are on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. So give us a listen there. If you like what you heard, then tell the world. Share, like the vid. If you have something to say, then please, we encourage everyone, drop a comment. Let us know what's on your mind. And you can find us all over social media. You can find our videos on BitChute, Odyssey, and YouTube. You can communicate with us through our various communication social media site platforms like Twitter, Rumble, Getter, Minds, Gab. Wherever you want to let your free mind thoughts flow, you'll find the Free Mind Thinkers. Plus, we are now setting up our locals page, which will soon load exclusive content for all those that become members. So stay tuned. Things are going to get greater. Y'all take it light. Remember to listen less, learn more.